In this tutorial, we will be talking about accuracy and reliability. It is important that you know that your resources are accurate and reliable, since an inaccurate source will be of no help to you or your research. Accuracy is different from bias because a biased article may have correct information, while an unbiased article could have information that is completely wrong. This is an area you want to evaluate early on, since you will want to avoid discovering that one or more of your sources that you have found is incorrect after you already have started your paper. There are several things to keep an eye out for when evaluating for accuracy and reliability. The first is whether the source is scholarly or not. If you know for a fact it is, then it is most likely a reliable source. Unfortunately, you cannot always tell right away if a source is scholarly or not. However, there are a few criteria you can look for that will help you tell. We will discuss how to tell if your article is scholarly or not in the next tutorial. If you know you don't have a scholarly article, or are unsure of whether or not the resource is scholarly, the next step is to see if you can tell if the information is factually correct and reliable. Based on what you know from your own knowledge and research, is the information correct or not? This step may be hard to perform, especially if you are just beginning your research or are researching a topic you don't know much about. A good way to tell if the information is accurate is to see if the facts the source presents are supported by your other sources. Next, take a look at the author's research methods, if they are made available. If the article is talking about the results of new research, does it explain how the research was conducted? How in-depth is the description of the research? Are there charts and graphs depicting the results? Generally, the more information given about the research, the better. Sometimes, in the case of surveys, the researchers will even include the questions they asked on the survey as an appendix to the document. If you have a popular article, such as from Time, Ms., or The Advocate, when research is discussed, it usually is prefaced with, according to Harvard professor, or another similar statement, and they may also list that the research was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association or another journal. Use these clues to track down the original scholarly article. Hopefully, it will give you the author or authors' names as well as the journal title, but it is likely that they will only list one of the two. At the very least, you already know the subject, so you can combine that with either the author or authors' names or the journal title to help you track it down. It is preferable to find a source written by the actual researchers, since they were the ones who actually conducted the research. Next, is the source supported by others' research? Do they cite other relevant research to help explain their argument or hypothesis? If so, do they properly cite it, either in footnotes, endnotes, or in the text itself? Researchers cite others to help support their research or argument. Not only does citing others' research add more credibility to a source, but it also shows that the author is familiar with other research done in the field. Next, is there a bibliography or a list of references? If so, how long? Is it just one or two references, or is it an extensive list? Like with citations, a list of references helps show that the researcher is familiar with other research in the field, and having this kind of support helps make the source more reliable. However, a bibliography does not mean a resource is accurate. The source could have just one citation, which most likely is not enough to support any kind of extensive argument or research. However, having a lot of references is not an instant guarantee of accuracy either. Even if a resource has 30 references, that does not necessarily mean it is automatically accurate. Make sure to double check with the other criteria. Next, does the source appear in a scholarly or peer-reviewed resource? If it's a book or a journal article, is the publisher a credible source, such as a university press? As discussed in previous tutorials, university presses are generally more accurate and reliable. However, that does not mean a resource is automatically accurate or reliable. Make sure to check with the other criteria. Next, how is the spelling and grammar of the resource? Is there a lot of errors? If so, then it is unreliable and probably inaccurate. Also, in the case of websites, how is the information laid out? Is the website attractive, or is everything just scattered about with no apparent organization? Generally, websites that have little organization and a poor layout are not reliable and probably inaccurate. They are usually created by laypeople with an interest in the field as opposed to actual experts. Finally, in the case of websites, what kinds of websites link to the website you are using? You could see what websites link to another by typing link, and the URL into the basic search box in Google. The site you are looking at may be reliable if the websites that link to it are reliable websites, such as those with the .gov or .edu domains. That being said, you'll still want to go to those websites and see how that website is linked. They may be using the website you are using as an example of a bad resource on the topic. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at how this command is used using the link example here on the slide. Here I am on the basic Google search page. I'm going to go ahead and paste the link command from my slide, and here are my results. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the results. Be wary of sites that link back to your site that are actually from the site you're using in your link command. They will probably show up, and it's just the creator of the website or creators using the same link to link to different parts of their website. I'm not seeing anything here I want, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the next page. And here's something. Here's a .edu. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, take a look to see how they use it. And it looks like it's from a university. My guess is it is the Louisiana State University, since it's New Orleans. So I'm going to try to find how they use the link here on their website. Since it's a NASA website, I can guess that aerospace is probably related. And they mention moon landing, which is where my link is from. And as you can see, it looks like they're using it as a way to send people to the website for further information. So I can guess they're using it in a positive way, thus lending credibility to the link. Now you will want to go into the websites that are linking to the website that is part of your link command, like I did with the LSU website, to see how they use the nasa.gov link. Are they using it positively or negatively? In this case, it looks like it is positive, but it could have been negative. And if it was negative, it may be a sign that you might not want to use that website that is part of your link command. In either case, you will still want to use the other criteria to ensure that the website you are using is accurate and reliable. This is just one tool in order to judge that. Make sure you use the other ones. In the next tutorial, we will discuss how to judge whether or not a journal article is scholarly.